Hi, I'm Dave from Military Antiques Toronto, and today I'm going to show you a couple of the items that walked in the door. There's a few more to show, that's for sure, but we'll start with this. Well, actually, it didn't all walk in the door. That's not true. This item I purchased from a collector, family, whichever, when I was on a road trip. So, where to start? Here. The daggers are presently on the website. The armbands are not. They'll be maybe on by early next week. So nice Hitler Youth armband if you're into that. No tag inside. It's just a nice woven armband. Nothing tremendously rare or special, but you know, people like them to put them with their German displays. Fine. So that's just another thing to put out there and get listed. So there you go. Show some use and abuse. You know, it's not mint, crispy mint, but you know, it's a very nice armband if you're into that. So nicely woven. So nice piece. There you go. And this piece here, you know, it's funny. This came from a family that I stopped in to see that called me. They didn't have any history on it, unfortunately. What I liked most about this is that it still had stitching on it from when it was obviously sewn onto a tunic. And theoretically, well, no, it's SS because it's black, but it's got black stitching on it to hold it in place. So as you can see from the stitching right there, and there was none there, so which means they only stitched it on the top to keep it in place, but not at the bottom. But hey, whatever. You know what? Somebody's going to argue saying, oh, they never did that. They only did it at top and bottom ever. You know what? Whatever. Everyone's an expert. I don't know nothing. And by the way, this is called a RZM tag, but what it really is a tax stamp. So you see the letter there? The different tax letters, and don't ask me what they exact financially mean, is that how much you paid when you purchased this. So if it's an F tax, it's one price. If it's a D tax, it's another price. If it's an A tax, it's another price. So that's what that means, is it's a tax stamp. That's what this RZM tag in these armbands is. In case you didn't know that, that's the story. So it all depends. I guess if you bought it from, oh, I don't know, Icorn, I'm making that up. And instead of buying it from Schmidt and Rubin as an example, I'm making that up too. The tax code from Icorn was much more because it was a better quality, maybe, whatever, but that's how it worked. It's a tax code, so it's all good. So that's what that is. And unfortunately, another Hitler Youth item, unfortunately the problem with this is it's got a bit of a chip missing out of the handle. Otherwise it would be a lot more. This is presently on the website. It's a beautiful piece, but condition-wise, but unfortunately it's got a chip out of it. So, nice blade, 1942 dated. It's an M7/42 with an RZM code on there. And it's not all messed up. This is really, actually a really nice Hitler Youth dagger, truthfully, condition-wise, because a lot of time, you know, the kids got them, they beat the snot out of them. Still got the leather washer, but here's where the problem lies, is that piece is missing. So it's got a chip out of it. You know, what do you do? I'm not going to fix it. It's a riveted handle. I'm sure someone somewhere would buy this and try and fix it. I can't be bothered, and it's not what I do, so the premise is to just sell the stuff, and if you wanted to fix it, well, you can buy it and have fun doing so. Again, not heavily used or abused. Let's see what the snaps say. Stocko, maybe Stocko. Let's see what it says over here. No. So, one Hitler Youth knife. That is on the website presently. I don't know how long it'll last at that price, considering what people ask for them, but hey, we'll see. SA dagger. It's not perfect. It's an RZM, so it's later issue. It's not transitional with an RZM and a maker's name. It's total RZM. So, first we look at the scabbard. I didn't honestly look at this. I am now. The screws are not messed up. Sometimes when people change the screws or mess with the screws, it strips them. In this case, they're fine. A lot of times the ball gets dented because it's just thin metal, and you know, if you've dropped this on a table or whatever with the dagger in, it's going to dent the ball. This ball is not dented, so that's a good thing. It's a painted scabbard. I can't even speak today. painted scabbard instead of an anodized scabbard. As you can see, the painted scabbard's there. Anodized scabbard could never be confused with a painted scabbard. They're totally different. Then we have the dagger. It's an M7/12. In that case, it's a it's not Wyersburg, but it's something like that. Again, this is on the website. So what's nice about this is that the motto is dark, and the problem with daggers is that people like to clean them. So when they've cleaned them, they usually, because they shouldn't, but they do, they take the darkening out of the motto, and that's why a lot of times you see the motto isn't as clear as it should be. And there you can clearly see the maker on the back, M7/12, and RZM logo. It's got some spotting on the blade, which you would expect, of course, for something of this age. They're not all perfect. They normally aren't, truthfully, and you kind of get what you get when you get these, right? So you got some lifting of the plating on the guards, which you would expect, truthfully, unless it's been well taken care of. That does happen, definitely. The other thing you want to look at is the nut to see if it's been turned. Sometimes they're loose from age, but sometimes people can't help themselves to take it apart to make sure that it's real or not. So this one still is very tight, which is fine. There's no gap in between here, which would indicate a parts dagger. Also here and here, I touched the blade, sorry, I'll wipe that off. The fittings are nice and tight, so they're not been messed with and then put together as a parts dagger. Oops, I put that in the wrong way, sorry. Which people do, unfortunately. So that's it. That's now, both those two knives are on the website presently. That's it for now. I'm gonna have to do some more, but it's all good. Thanks for looking. Follow me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Check out my website, militaryAntiquesToronto.com. It's always cheaper on the website. It's in Canadian funds. In reference to US customers who are all worried about the duty, you know what? You don't have to pay the duty. We have to, unless it's something expensive that I'm shipping at UPS, and because I'm not going to risk losing it in the mail, because you know, people at post office aren't necessarily the most honest people around in some cases, not all, but some, and things don't just disappear. So I can't explain how that works, but whatever, when there's a tracking number. So don't worry about it unless it's expensive. I have to pay the duty because that's the way Donald Duck set it up. So I don't have a choice. Always nice to know. And our government agreed to this, which I don't really understand how that works, but whatever. So thanks for looking. Have a nice day. Check out militaryAntiquesToronto.com. Thanks for looking. Take care. Bye.